Hi and welcome to Yubnubbs guide to level 19 Twink Paladin healer. In this episode we will have a look at some macros that will make you a little bit more efficient on the battlefield. If you haven't played Paladin before, you might not know, but Paladins can be a little bit tricky to play. And there are a few macros that can make it a little bit easier for you. So this will be as short episode as I can possibly make it. To save time, I'm also going to cut and paste the macros and explain about what they actually do. But I will also put them in the description so that you don't have to write them off the screen. It's very hot here right now. It's actually 37 degrees Celsius. The computer is very loud, so I hope there isn't that much noise in the background. Before we start, I would like to point out that if you use a modifier self-cast key, some of these macros won't do that much of a difference. But if you don't want to dedicate a key for self-casting, then this will be very useful for you. Of course there are great add-ons as well, like Grid, that really help out a lot. This is a very efficient add-on and it almost becomes your new eyes. While add-ons like Grid make it a lot easier to target and heal your friends, this macro still made a difference for me when it really counted. I believe that they will work on all private servers since they are not really that advanced, but I'm not willing to bet my ass on it. There is no specific order to these, so let's just get started with the first one on the list. Showtooltip Purify. /cast help purify target equals target purify. This is a pretty useful macro that replaces your normal purify button. If you got yourself or a friend as a target, it will try to cast purify. But if your target is an enemy, it will instead cast Purify on your target's target. This makes it a little bit more convenient and easier to use. This macro will cast Hand of Freedom on yourself. Once again, this can be solved with a modifier self-cast button, or even integrated into the add-on itself. This comes in handy when you are in the middle of a war, healing, keeping everyone up, and suddenly you get attacked and you become slowed. You need to be able to run away now. This macro makes sure that it's always cast on yourself so that you can safely get away as fast as possible. I'm not sure if I should go through the text, but oh well. /cast target equals player Hand of Freedom, and I won't go through all of them, you can see them on the screen. Just to cut down time, I don't think I will go through all of them, we will see about that, but in short, what target equals player within brackets does is that it makes sure that the spell's target is the player and the player is you, so you will cast it on yourself. The rest is kind of self-explanatory there. The next macro is once again a self-cast, but it's a pretty important one depending on how you play. /cast target equal player Holy Light rank 3. So you will heal yourself. This comes in handy when you need to occasionally throw a heal on yourself while not letting go of the target you already got. Once again, this can be solved with a self-cast key. I just prefer it this way. This next macro though is a lot more important, and a mere self-cast key will not be able to come even close to touching this one. Showtooltip Holy Light rank 3. /cast help within brackets Holy Light rank 3. Target equals target Holy Light rank 3. This for me have been an extremely efficient macro, and it replaces your normal Holy Light button. What it does is that it checks if your target is friendly. If it is, it will cast Holy Light. This means that if you have yourself as a target, you will heal yourself. If you have got a friend as a target, it will heal your friend, just as the normal Holy Light does. But the real magic comes in when your target is not a friendly one. If you can't cast Holy Light at your target, it will instead try to cast it on your target's target. This is very convenient when you are fighting and your target is trying to kill one of your buddies. You will just have to push this button and it will always heal whoever your enemy have targeted, even if it's yourself. Even when you have add-ons like Grid, or some people even have mouse over macros. This one is pretty fast and you don't even have to bother about targeting and stuff, you just have to click a button. The next macro is almost the same, but it casts Hand of Protection instead. Hand of Protection has a long cooldown and it's pretty much an oh shit button. When you need it now. This macro have been very useful for me. It replaces your normal Hand of Protection and it makes it a little bit faster and more efficient. Showtooltip Hand of Protection rank 1. /cast help Hand of Protection rank 1. Target equals target Hand of Protection rank 1. Once again, if you target yourself or a friend, you will cast Hand of Protection on the target itself. But if you have an enemy as a target, you will instead cast it on his target. Another skill that is important that you don't waste is Lay on Hands. This macro will make sure that you cast it on yourself. This is the oh shit button. No matter what, you will be the receiver of the sweet HP in the end. /cast target equal player, layin hands rank 1. The target's target that we have now used several times before can greatly improve most spells. Layin hands is no exception. This will make sure that if the target is not you or a friend, then at least someone who is friendly will receive it. I highly recommend that you set show target's target as always in your interface settings if you haven't already, so that you can see what your enemy is up to. The following one is not that important and you shouldn't really resurrect players in Warzone Gulch. I've only seen it happen a couple of times. Very hard to pull through and you will still have like a tremendous waiting time to be rest anyway. So don't do that. Don't resurrect players unless you are in like the special of all special situations. But in the end game after a wipe, this is a pretty nice macro. It also works well if you are doing low level open world PvP. We used to have raids on Molten in Red Ridge, it was pretty fun. And macros like this comes in handy then. Show tooltip redemption rank 1. /say resurrecting %t. /cast redemption rank 1. It makes your character say resurrecting, then the target's name. This is useful when several people are dead and you don't want to waste the long casting time on a player that's already being resurrected by someone else. You let the player know that you are resurrecting him, and you also let other healers know who you are resurrecting, so they don't pick the same player to resurrect. Another convenient macro is this one. And this is something that you use pretty much every Warzone Gulch. This will just make it a little bit easier for you. /use minor wizard oil. /use 16. And 16 is your main hand slot. So whatever is in your main hand will receive the minor wizard oil. If you already got minor wizard oil on, it will just ask if you want to replace it. It saves you from the hassle of opening the inventory, finding the oil and clicking your weapon. The next two macros are the last ones, but they are very important since this is a big part of playing a paladin now. These are very common macros and I'm pretty sure that everyone uses weapon switching. If you don't, then this is something that you should really start doing. So the first one is show tooltip devote aura stone hammer. /equip devote aura stone hammer. /equip arctic buckler. So it's not really that important which weapons that you equip, as long as it's the weapons that you want to equip, of course. This equips devote aura stone hammer and arctic buckler. Weapon switching is very important in PvP and it's something you should be doing a lot. So the last macro is show tooltip glacial stone. /equip glacial stone. When you need to dish out some damage, you should bring out the hardest hitting badass monster of a weapon that you got. For a paladin, that pretty much is glacial stone. But you might think to yourself, why is it actually important? Why not just run with a two-hander all the time? The short answer is different stats and armor mitigation. You want as much survivability as possible, especially when healing. And Paladin's main survival tool is armor mitigation. Arctic Buckler has the highest armor among the shields that are available to you at level 19. And for me right now, it's a 12% armor mitigation difference between using the shield and not using it, so it's pretty much. You can also have different enchantments like spell power on your main hand and mana regeneration on your shield, while enchantments like icy weapon and fairy weapon is going to be a lot better for the glacial stone. Anyway, learn when to switch weapons and you will greatly improve your performance in PvP. But that will be it for this time. I hope that you enjoyed this episode and maybe even learned something from it. In the next episode we will go through talents, glyphs and professions. Until then, thank you for watching and see you next time.